Alright, fucking brag about it.
I am, so what are you gonna do about it?
I'm gonna come through this fucking phone and just slap you. But,
Do
like,
it.
real soft. Not in, like, a hard way, but, like, in just a way of be like, hey, stop that.
All I can think about is that Vine where it's like, that is my kink, and then it's just me screaming.
Yep. Yeah.
Welcome to Into the Twilight Season 2, where it's just me screaming.
It's dark and sexy and still Vine references.
It's still Vine references, but this time it's just about kink vines and also screaming.
Yeah.
Yep, that sounds about right, actually.
I think that's fair, yeah.
Cody, how the fuck are you doing today?
I'm so hot.
Oh.
I'm sweating. Not in, like, a good way.
Oh.
In, like, my skin is melting.
Oh.
It's
I'm
summer,
sorry.
and I hate it.
That's fair. I'm sorry.
How are you doing?
You know what, Cody?
Yeah.
I'm feeling really unsatisfied, because I still don't have juice.
After all this time.
After all this time. I don't know why. I think I'm getting scurvy. I need juice.
I just like to shine a light on our listeners that mere seconds before recording, Allie pleaded to her boyfriend to get her juice when he went to go get breakfast. And that was very good.
Okay, so here's this fucked up thing, right? Because usually during the... I know I say this every week, like, I'm going to be prepared and do my homework. And then as a teacher, right, I always tell my students, like, do your homework before the deadline. And then when it comes to our actual homework, I never do. Yeah. And that's mainly because I hate reading this book. So I put it off until, like, the worst time. Yep. But it's usually, like, every Saturday morning when I'm sleeping next to my pure boyfriend, and so I'm reading 50 Shades of Grey, right? And every morning, he turns next to me and he's like, so what happened, right? And he doesn't actually want to know, but he knows I'm going to, like, scream about it. And so, and this is, like, a little bit of a spoiler for what we're going to talk about today, but I looked at him, deadpan, I was like, well, they fucked.
Welcome, everyone, we finally got there.
And he's just like, so... was it good? And I was like, Chris. No. But
Christopher.
It's just like every time. Because like last week, right? I was like, Chris, they said the Xbox thing. I thought that was fake. But yeah, so... But this time, yeah, I was just like, I need juice. I read this and it was so bad. Because I don't drink, right? So I couldn't be like, it's 10 o'clock in the morning and I need alcohol. I was like, no, I just need some juice.
Please.
So speaking of school, though, so I have something that's very important that I need to tell you, Cody.
I love that.
Two things, right? So I teach babies, right? I teach freshmen, and then I also teach babies, but they're seniors, apparently. And so you're familiar with this concept of AP testing, right?
I'm familiar.
Where people try to get college credit, and it rarely works.
Yeah, never.
So there's some of these upperclassmen that have done their AP testing, and so some teachers continue on doing their curriculum and some don't. And so there are some classes that I'm observing right now where they're watching this show on Netflix called Manhunt about the Unabomber. Uh-huh. Have you heard of that show at all?
I have heard of it, yes.
Okay, I would watch it. Because I'm observing a class right now that is watching it, and it's good. But the main reason why I'm talking about it is because fucking Esme is in it.
Wow!
And she's amazing in it, so shout out to that.
Hell yeah.
But the reason also of some Twilight connections that I have this week, which is, I can't believe I'm saying this, but it's just been so nice to dip back into Twilight this week.
Sure.
I mean, I guess I'm not surprised because it is my safe space. But it has been nice because my freshmen that I've been observing as well too, not my usual freshmen, but another class, are finishing up reading Romeo and Juliet, which means that they're watching Romeo and Juliet, the 1996 film with Leo DiCaprio. And these freshmen have never watched that film before. Why would they, I guess, if they're not nerds like me? And this film, as most of you probably know because you've watched it for fun and or in English class before, is extra as hell, and it's perfect. But on Friday, we had them watch the end of the film. And so we got to, like, that moment, right, which is very different than how it is in the play, with Romeo and Juliet and how they die. And kids, like, McFreaking lost it. Like, they stood up, they were getting ready to, like, start a protest and, like, leave class, and it was the most amazing thing to watch. But the reason why I wanted to talk about it, right, is because when we watch New Moon, and when, like, we read New Moon, right, Edward quotes Romeo, and it was so wild to, one, hear the freshman reading that quote out loud, and then also listening to Leo quote that, because I was like, wow, I wonder if fucking Edward watched Romeo and Juliet, the movie, and was like, you know, Leo's great, but I can do this better. You know what I mean?
Hold on. Hear me out.
So, all I'm
a
saying
bit of
is
an
just
actor.
keep that headcanon in mind, you know?
Yeah, it's there. It's in my brain.
It's there.
He's here.
Yep, just keep that in mind. And also, there's a lot of reasons why I enjoy being a teacher, but students almost storming out because there's differences between the movie and the play was good to me.
I love that.
It's very good. We have some current events. Would you like to start this week?
Sure. Where would you like to start?
I mean, we have cats involved this week, so I think there's a good place to start.
I guess we're gonna do a main focus on the fact that you can adopt a cat named Christian Grey in Canada, I think.
Yep.
The Lincoln County Humane Society. When I say this photo is truly horrifying and gives me nightmares.
Honestly, it's a photo of me when I'm disassociating. You know what I mean?
This is me when I wake up, like, hungover, but, like, still a little drunk, and I don't really know why or how. This is what I look like. Just dazed, confused, whiskers.
This is me when I take my bra off and someone wants to make plans with me. You know what I
mean? Yeah. Yes. So there's this, it looks like a it doesn't look real. Like, it looks like a taxidermy cat they just took a photo of and put on their website. But his name is Christian Grey, and you can adopt him. He is a domestic shorthair, 3 years old, which means he's a bit of an older soul.
He's so great. He's got these, like, yellow eyes, and they look like they're different sizes. And god damn, you know what I mean? He's got soul, you know?
He just looks like he was supposed to be in, like, a Muppet movie, but he didn't quite make the casting call.
Oh, god damn. All of our best stories come out of Canada.
Yeah. Thanks, Canada.
God damn. That's so good. I want to use this photo for the rest of my life. Like, when I think about Into the Twilight and our photos, this photo and then that photo that we use of Stephenie Meyer with that huge statement necklace when she looks like she's so unhappy are what I think of.
I love it.
It's very good. Other things that have come up this week. Mainly the book club movie premiere. Apparently they had 50 Shades of Grey books at that, and there were copies stolen.
That's fine.
So, why? Why to all of this?
Who do you think is coming to this movie premiere? Like, I mean, I guess, to be fair, they would probably already have it, but why not, you know?
Yeah, I love the last line of this little, I don't know, blurb, though. It says, if you haven't actually read 50 Shades of Grey and want to do that, it is actually for sale at stores and online. There's no need to steal it.
Here's how capitalism works, in case you're not familiar.
Yeah, so that's very good.
There are goods and services, and you can get those for money.
Yeah, I love that a lot. I just am very intrigued by who and why, and the idea that they weren't actually in, like, goodie bags, but they expected you to what? Just start reading this at a premiere?
Yeah. You can't take that home. You have to finish it here.
Yeah. We expect you to skim this and give us a review right now, actually.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yes. The only other thing that came up, and this is by no means surprising, I'm just very intrigued by the fact that Australia posted this week.
Sure.
Is the idea that 50 Shades of Grey is very popular for boudoir photo albums.
I mean,
Shocker.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just this profile from The Observer about a photographer, and in this very intriguing faux red room.
It all checks out, right? And then there's a giant stuffed teddy bear on the bed.
Yeah.
Which is a bit jarring for the theme.
Yeah. A teddy bear that's larger than the headboard.
It's massive.
It's the biggest.
I can't, like, one of these things is not like the other. I wonder what that could be.
Is it the window that's not facing the outside? Is it the red wood paneling?
Yeah.
Is it the low-bearing ceiling? Or is it the teddy bear that's larger than the headboard? You decide. I have so many questions about what's happening here, and none of it is the actual, like, article about, BDSM is probably a big topic in the boudoir photo area.
Okay, so I've clicked on this website.
Oh, no, you did not.
And now my internet is ruined, I think.
Yeah, well.
So, but this is what I do for the podcast. There are, 6? Do I know how to count? Yeah, 6 different versions of the boudoir, like, photo, whatever.
Are you on the OzCan group thing?
Yes, that's the one.
There are so many horses here. Well, way more than I expected.
Yeah, there's a lot. They offer a lot of services, but in the boudoir one, there are 6 different ones. It starts from the quickie, which is $250, and it's 15 minutes. And the most expensive one is the seductress, which is $1,500.
What does that entail?
It entails, let me tell you, a pre-shoot consultation, wine/champagne/spirits and chocolates, hair and makeup.
Spirits like ghosts?
Like alcohol, Allie.
How is that different than champagne?
Okay.
I want ghosts.
With all that money, I want a ghost. There's a meat and cheese tray, 1.5 hour photo shoot.
Jesus Christ.
$100 lingerie voucher. Overnight stay in a hotel with transfers. Private viewing of the images, which is a weird thing to do.
That's very weird.
Straight images on a USB drive. 7 edited proofs. $1,500.
And then you also get $1,500.
And then they also just give it right back to you. I cannot believe.
Holy shit.
This is really something.
Wow. I have so many questions.
Yeah.
About everything that's happening here. What the fuck?
Hey, you gotta make a living somehow,
Is this what happens in Australia? Is that you can do boudoir and you can also photograph rodeos? Is that?
Yeah. Yeah. That seems like a cool place to live where you can do all of those things.
I'll photograph your wedding. I'll also photograph your rodeo the next day. Like, what the fuck?
Listen, they're figuring it out.
Holy shit. Wow.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think that this website has also broken my internet, but maybe one day we'll be able to get back to the point of this podcast.
Nah, I don't know about that.
Holy shit. Well, would you like to talk about chapter 7 and 8 with me today?
I guess. I mean, I wouldn't like that.
I don't.
But I will do it.
Is it a hard limit for you?
I don't know if it's a hard limit.
Okay. Is it a soft limit?
It might be a soft limit.
Okay. All right. Well,
a diet limit.
A diet limit. God damn it, Cody.
What?
Is it a fresca limit?
Oh my god. Yes. No, a fresca limit is a very good thing.
Okay. All right. Well, that's good to know.
Fresca limit is cream of the crop.
Okay. Well, that's fair. So, here's the thing. Chapter 7, where we left off last week, right? The last few words of chapter 6 were holy fuck, which, same, Anna.
Yeah. Yep.
God damn, I wish that these chapters had titles to them. You know what I mean?
Alright, this one is called,
This one, chapter 7 is called
Welcome
Crusty...
to my weird sex dungeon.
Chapter 7
Hi,
is
my
called
name's Chris.
Crusty Old Museum.
Yes.
Because here's the thing. Chapter 7 starts off, right? And the first thing that Anna starts talking about is the scent. Weird place to start, but
Yeah.
fine.
I guess when there's so much sensory overload happening, she clings to any sense of, like, normalcy. It's like, oh, a citrus, I know that smell. I'm not, thrown off by anything else in this room.
Yeah, but, like, when you think about it, there's the mix of leather and citrus. Ugh.
Yeah, no
Weird
thanks.
combination.
No thanks.
And also, so you get leather, you get citrus, you get deep, dark burgundy, and
Sure.
crosses.
Yeah.
Does that not set in some sort of panic response to you?
Any fight or flight response going on here?
Because that makes me want to run.
God, the way that is described, it's like the physical manifestation of, like, that section of Tumblr that was like, welcome to my twisted mind. Like,
Oh my god.
We got whips. We got dark red. We also got Jesus. You don't
Holy
understand me.
crap.
I'm complex.
That also reminds me of, like, the Tumblr, the blogs that used to be all black and white.
Oh my
and,
god.
like, vaguely satanic.
Oh jeez.
But also
Yeah.
straight edge. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Oh my god, yes. So she also says that each drawer that's in there, and there's apparently a lot of drawers, great for storage, thanks Christian,
Hey.
was containing specimens that were from a crusty old museum. You know, when I think of sex, you know, I think of crusty and old.
Yeah, really just gets me going.
And she's like, I wonder what they hold. And then she's like, actually, do I want to know? Fair. The important thing to understand is that the biggest thing in this room is the bed, and there's no bedding. Gross, Christian.
Yeah, fuck.
Really unsanitary.
You gotta throw your whole mattress away every time.
Hi, this episode is sponsored by Casper.
Fuck, could you imagine? His life should be sponsored by Casper.
Honestly. There's a lot of, like, ox blood happening, but apparently this is his version of being soft and romantic, which is weird.
Yeah, you know.
Sorry, I just had to let a cat out because she was terrified of Christian Grey.
The cat Christian Grey or the regular Christian Grey?
Yeah, she could not handle the fact that he had to replace his mattress every time that he needed to fuck.
Oh, what a beautiful soundbite that I will cherish forever.
Oh, also, I forgot the, like, feathery things that Anna seems to be obsessed by.
She's so fascinated by these, like, little feathers.
Yeah, and so the first thing that Christian says, the first thing that either of them say in this chapter is him being like, it's a flogger. It's like, okay, Christian, you creep.
Okay. I love how she's, like, taking all this in, and he's like, say something. And she's just like, I don't. I'm just gonna keep looking around, that's cool.
What do you want me to say, Christian?
This is a little weird, Christian.
Yeah.
I just came here for a fuck, and, like, you show me this?
Yeah.
Christian.
Where's your Xbox, Christian? All he wanted to play was, like, fucking God of War, Christian.
I came here in this fucking helicopter, and I just wanted to get dick down today, and I didn't want any of this weird nonsense. Too much to ask.
So, here's the thing about Anna, right?
Yeah.
She finally, after all of the shock, she's like, what is the appropriate response to all this? And she's like, oh yeah, fear.
Terrifying.
But she does, in this moment, anyways, make a clear distinction that she's like, I don't think he would hurt me. And then she's like, well, not with my consent. And then she looks at the camera and winks. Like,
So, am I right? Feminism, right?
am
I did
right,
it.
Ladies.
You get it.
And she's
That's all you need. Just think about it in your head. Never approach the subject whatsoever in person.
Yeah. Yeah, but they won't, like, communicate about that.
No.
Because they're
Setting boundaries, like, with words?
Yeah, they're the worst. And so she finally, like, talks to him about this, right? She's like, do you do this with people, or do they do this to you? And it's, like, fair question, right? Because
Yeah.
you find out later she's a sad virgin that can't drive. And, well, she can't drive. Sort of. And so he, of course, tells her that he likes to do this to people.
I love his response because he was like, well, because she was like, oh, do you do this to people or do people do it to you? And he's like, people. I do this to women, first of all.
Yeah.
Excuse me. I don't know if you remember the last time we talked about my sexuality. I'm a straight guy, alright? And I like to fuck women.
Yeah, she's trying to be as inclusive as possible in this moment. Like, she's not even trying to be disrespectful to him.
No. She's just trying to understand what the fuck is happening.
Yeah, and I love that too, because it even mentions that he blinks a couple of times. And it's like, inclusivity. What?
Whoa.
No,
whoa.
women.
Whoa. Let's not get ahead of ourselves over here.
Yeah. And so she's like, so you're a sadist? He's like, actually, Anna, I'm a dominant. It's like, okay, Christian, shut the fuck up. Here's the thing, though, because she's trying to figure this out, right? And apparently she's never been on the internet before.
No.
So she has no idea what any of this stuff is. And so the way that she connects this in her brain is she's like, oh, he likes to hurt women. And so she's like, oh, okay. Duly noted. Gonna check that off and keep going.
I will still pursue this, though, because I am interested in that possibility.
Yeah. I'm
not off the table, just a little concerned.
Yeah, I
still interested.
Don't know anything about BDSM, but I do know apparently anything about true crime, so I am a little bit interested.
Okay. I checked for fire exits.
Yeah. Let's talk about this a little bit, right? That she's like, so what do I get out of this? And in the most straight man way, Christian, like, gestures to all of himself, and he's like, well, me, of course.
This. Isn't that what you want? It's so,
he, like
this...
Vogues.
Right. This is why, I mean, one of the many reasons this is very frustrating, but, like, when this came out and when this was, like, the picture of BDSM, like, people in the community were like, this is not at all what that is. This is just a weird objectification of it, right? And a lot of that, I feel like, is because this relationship is very much like, oh, everything is for the dominant, and that's it. Like, this, like,
right.
The submissive gets nothing, there's no pleasure there, you just get, like, this hot-ass body or whatever. And it's like, actually, it's not like a, hey, we're all serving you kind of thing. It's like a, whoa, there's communication between two, so both people, or all parties, get what they want, and it's great.
Yep, that's how dynamics work.
That's how all relationships and sex works, but, you know, fuck it, just because you have the title of dominant, now you can be like, oh, that means I get whatever I want. And also fuck everyone else, right?
Yeah, like literally fuck everybody else.
Quite literally fuck everyone else on the planet.
Yeah. So Christian tries to do this thing of blowing it off, like, yep, this is all for me, fuck you. And then is like, well, I sleep downstairs, I don't do relationships actually, and we're just gonna try and make sure that you sign this contract and everything. So let's go downstairs. You must be hungry. And she's like, actually, this is weird enough. I don't have an appetite anymore. Anyways, so he's like, no, actually, Anna, you need to eat.
Is this your Christian Grey impression?
Isn't that what he sounds like?
Anna.
Anna. He sounds like Satan, right?
Right. I don't make love, Anna.
Anna, I don't make love. I fuck. Anna.
I want to bite your lip, Anna.
Anna, I want to rip that lip off. Anna.
With my lip.
Anna, this is how sex works. We just bite lips. Make fuck with lips. Sounds like some weird Monster Factory. Okay. God. Anyways, so they go downstairs, right, and he pulls this fucking, like, charcuterie plate out of the fridge, like some fucking nonchalant motherfucker. Yeah. And he's like, oh, yes, my fucking housemaid did this for me. And he just, like, pulls a baguette, super casual. And he's talking about this paperwork, right, about limits and stuff. And he's like, this is consensual, Anastasia, because he's this fucking sex robot. Yeah, actually, you know what? I stand by my impression. That's exactly what he sounds like. And
again, he looks directly into the camera, is like, hey, you see? Even I'm saying it, and that means it's good.
So it's important to keep in mind, right, that Anna's like, so how'd you become this way? And he's like, it's just the way I am. Why is anyone the way they are? They, like, make this weird, like, metaphor to cheese. It's really
This is not an existential question, Christian. I just want to know, like, how you got into this. Like,
yeah, and he tries to, like, deflect it like some weirdo. He has a lot of repression. It's fine.
It's fine.
He tries to be super chill about making her eat stuff, and Anna's like, actually, I want to exercise my free will a little bit longer, so fuck off, Christian.
Thank you.
She asks about how many women he's had, and he's like, 15. No big deal.
No.
And she tries to get a little bit more information about, like, have you hurt any of them? Will you hurt me? All this stuff. And Anna's getting these questions, right? And he's answering what seems like honestly. She's like, actually, I feel like I'm going to pass out. And it's like, yeah, Anna, you've been drinking without eating anything. All of this stuff, right? He finally hands over the paperwork of all of these hard limits. And Cody, I need to know all of your opinions about this.
They're so bad. It is like,
Yes.
I knew this was bad going into it, right? Like, I knew we were not going to have a good time. I didn't know it was going to be, like, objectively, like, really bad.
Yeah.
Especially towards women. I
didn't know anything about these rules.
I didn't know to the extent of how, like, gross and sexist and controlling and manipulative they were. Turns out, extremely.
Yes.
Because he's like, you have this, like, budget for clothes that I want you to wear that I will, like, you know, donate to or whatever, so you can look nice for me when I, like, mosey you off to schmoozy events or whatever. And then he's like, you must look a certain way, and you must, like, maintain your weight and, like, exercise all the time, and, like, do all these things, and everything's for me, of course, whatever. Yep. And it's bad. It's really bad.
Yeah, it's pretty gross. I don't know why. I thought there was something, before we started reading this, I thought there was something about them, either the submissive had to be on birth control or had to not be on birth control. But I didn't remember reading anything explicitly about that.
No, because later when they, you know.
Yeah.
we get there. But yeah, I don't think there's anything in, like, the contract.
The whole, like, the submissive will not snack between meals with the exception of fruit. I was like, yo.
It's so gross and controlling and, like, what?
I'm so glad you want the people that you fuck to have, like, you're setting up, like, disordered eating patterns for someone who, like, may already have, like, disordered eating patterns.
Right. It's fucked.
Yeah. Anna did not know what hard limits were prior to this, which is fair. Some people don't.
Yeah.
Especially since she was a virgin.
Sure.
And she was like, I don't want your fucking money for clothes.
Yeah. Excuse me.
And then he tries to justify it by saying that he goes to a lot of, like, corporate business events, and that would require her to be in, like, fancy attire. Oh my god. Even my subconscious is bored by this.
Your measly new Seattle salary is not gonna be able to afford the outfits I want you to wear, so...
Yeah.
I'll take care of it.
She gets all up, like, she's like, and actually, I don't want to work out that much. I was like, yes, Anna, advocate for what you need and want. He's like, what does he fucking say? He says, I need you supple, strong, and with stamina. Trust me, you need to exercise. And I was like, bitch, no.
No.
That's gross.
And then she's like, well, how about, like, 3 days? And he's like, I would like it to be 4 days. And she's like, motherfucker, why are we even negotiating if you're not gonna budge on anything? And he's like, damn, you got me there.
Yeah, and then he responds by being like, are you sure you don't want to intern at my company? You're a good negotiator. And it's like, gross, stop talking. And she's, like, appalled by all of the waxing and stuff, which is fair. And then he hands over, like, the actual hard limits and stuff, right? And she's kind of shocked by the fact that he needed to write these down, because this is her first time engaging with these, right?
Yeah.
So she kind of does a little bit of kink shaming with it, of, like, saying, quote, any sane person wouldn't want to be involved with this. And so, I don't know, I kind of bypassed that just because I think that this is her first time engaging with this, even though I feel like the language there is not appropriate.
Sure.
But I feel like that's just something that she needs to adjust her framing with, I guess. But here's the thing. I feel like this is not, it's not the appropriate time for her, or for him to be like, is there anything you'd like to add? It's like, give her a little bit of processing time.
Right.
With this, dude.
And
like,
also, she has no idea where to even begin. She's just
exactly.
like,
Yeah, because, okay, so this is where he finds out, right, that she's a virgin. And so the chapter ends, right, with him, like, screaming at her of, like, why the fuck didn't you tell me? And he's, like, growling because he's the worst.
Motherfucker, when will that ever come up?
Yeah, he hasn't,
Get the fuck out of here.
So that's where chapter 7 ends. And chapter 8 starts off with him blaming her, basically, for being a virgin and not communicating that with him.
Sure.
And it's like, okay, first of all, you're the one who's been so, like, blatant about your sexuality and not being like, lol, you too? Like, if you're the one that's so sexually experienced, just, like, share that or open up the dialogue, communicate for 2 seconds.
If you are, like, looking for your next, like, partner or whatever, and you, like, and this is so methodical in the way that he's doing it, like, you should ask questions, you should know a lot about their sexual history, or, like, what they have already done and what they're open to doing, all these things. You know their status, like, if they are a virgin or not. Like, these are things that you would you would talk about if you were actively engaging in finding a new fucking sex partner.
Exactly. It's really frustrating because Anna starts off chapter 8 feeling guilty for not having sex, and that's not fair.
Yeah, it's shitty.
It's very shitty.
And I hate it.
Yeah. He's doing the whole thing like, how come you're like so beautiful and you're like 21, almost 22 or whatever, and how have you avoided sex? Tell me. And she's like, like, so anyways, she's like, why are you so angry with me? And he does the whole thing like, I'm not angry with you, I'm angry with myself. Anyways, so he does this really gross thing, though, where he's like, we're gonna rectify this situation. And he's like, I'm gonna make love to you now. And she's like, oh yeah, Christian, I thought you didn't make love.
Remember, you fuck hard, if I'm remembering that correctly?
Yeah, exactly. And so this is when it gets into, like, literally 30 pages or whatever of them having the sex.
Yeah.
And it's a lot, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Cue women and people of all sexualities and gender identities on their washing machines. I guess it's attractive for some people. Sure. I didn't really find it that enjoyable to read. Because he's like, I want to bite this lip.
Yeah, but let me bite it.
30 pages. The only thing of note here is E.L. James, who came up, well, she didn't, Stephanie Meyer came up with this character, apparently thinks Christian Grey wears Converse shoes? And that's despicable to me. You've tried to
that does seem a little off base. Yeah.
And because she goes on to say that Anna Steele wears Converse shoes. Very on brand.
Sure.
Bella also wears Converse shoes.
Sure.
Christian Grey does not wear Converse shoes. It's just, it doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah. Like, I'm trying to do the math, but it's just not, I'm not getting it.
It doesn't make sense. There's a lot about the sex scene that does not add up to me. It doesn't. But that, by far, is the most despicable part of this for me.
The sex scene is really gross for a lot of reasons.
So many reasons.
But, like, one of the overlying things is that, like, she is experiencing all of this for the first time and doesn't know, and has never experienced any of this before, and is just, like, really instinctually reacting to things. And Christian is always, like, policing those reactions and being like, whoa, we're gonna have to, you're so responsive, but we're gonna have to cut that shit out when we actually do this, you know? It's like, let her actually just have a first experience of something and do that. But, you know, fuck it, right?
It pisses me off so bad that he can't just, like, let her live for once in her life.
Literally.
Like, this whole time, he keeps being like, you're so irresistible, Anna. Oh my god. But the one time that she's trying to be unapologetic in herself, like, live in her life, and he's like, actually, can you just, like, not for a second? God damn. Like, women are not there just to please you, Christian. God damn it.
It's true. There's a point in which he shoves his thumb.
Oh, yeah.
Into her mouth.
Yeah.
After fingering her with his thumb. And she is so fucking jazzed about it. In a way that would never happen if this was, like, your first time experiencing something like that. I feel like. Just because, like, just the basic, like, missionary, any type of sex is new for her. Already, just, like, diving a little bit, just a little bit into the kinky zone. I don't think she would be so into it as she was. That just seems a bit more, like, serving of Christian and, like, whatever.
And she's already, like, throughout, even when they weren't doing sex stuff, she's so resistant to him.
Yeah.
In every aspect. I don't know. Yeah. That didn't seem to play with me either.
Yeah.
Yeah. She was, yeah.
And she's in pain, like, the whole time.
Yep.
She's like, it's fine, because I had, like, 12 orgasms, so it's cool.
Yeah.
But my body
at me.
hurts. Oh my god, another part. Fuck, I completely forgot about it. Okay. So nipples are weird, right? They get hard.
Oh my god.
At the most random of scenarios. Like, there's really no rhyme or reason for a lot of times. But I don't think if Christian Grey were to simply look at her nipples, they would just harden immediately.
Yep.
Or if he had looked at him again or, like, came closer, I don't remember what actually happened, they would harden further? Question mark?
Yep.
I don't think...
I feel like E.L. James wrote this sex scene while listening to The Lonely Island's Jizz in My Pants over and over again.
Wow. That's a fun take.
And I'm standing by that. That's all I have to say.
Oh, okay.
Because everything that was written here could feasibly happen with someone's body.
Yeah.
Now, could it feasibly happen with someone who is having sex for the first time, who has also communicated that they have literally never masturbated for the first time?
Yeah. Oh my god.
I don't know. You know, I don't know.
But when you're with, like, a sex god like Christian, who knows how to do everything right?
Yeah, I don't know. You know what I mean?
Sometimes it just happens like that, you know?
Yeah, I guess. You know, just like sometimes with sex robots, it just, you know, you look at each other and you just orgasm.
It's true.
You know?
Ugh. It happens. Fuck. What are you gonna do? God, if there's someone who needs to masturbate, it is Anastasia Steele.
Honestly...
Probably not as much as Bella needs to, but definitely up there.
I mean, they both are reading the same books. You know what I mean?
So
they both need to.
Yeah.
Okay, so she falls asleep at some point, even though he told her that she wasn't going to fall asleep. Weird. But she wakes up to Christian doing the most Edward Cullen thing ever, which is playing sad, sad songs on his sad, sad piano. Because they're both the worst. Anyways, she goes to follow the music. And then she apologizes for disturbing him because, God, anyways, emotional labor is great.
I love it.
Also, can we talk about the fact that she says when she finds him that she thought he was, like, butt-ass naked playing the piano, which is a mood.
Sure, yeah.
But she says that she notices that he's wearing PJ pants. Hey, what's PJ pants? Hey, real talk? Hey. Because I'm wearing pajama pants right now, but what's them PJ pants?
What the fuck is a PJ? Listen, she's just a small town girl, and sometimes she
living in a small town world.
Yeah. You know the song. I can't believe, because I feel like every other time he's been wearing, like he would wear, like, sweatpants, right? And then be like, oh, wait, he's wearing sweatpants. What? Just the fact that it would pivot so much to be like, no, these are specifically PJ pants.
You know, can I have some PJ pants, please? Like,
oh,
what?
Wow.
What the fuck, Christian? What did you just say?
Hi, yeah, can I get a side of PJ pants on this one? Thank you.
Taylor, I need PJ pants. Stat.
Taylor, fuck! Give me some PJ pants.
Taylor's like, sir?
I'm all out and I don't know how to do my laundry. You need to buy more. Here's $1 million.
I need a mattress. I need a new mattress every day, and I need a new pair of PJ pants, please.
This is your purpose. This is your job. Taylor.
God damn it. Yeah. So, anyways, so the chapter ends too with Anna being like, so I woke up and you weren't here. Why? Christian's like, because life is hard. Anna, get a helmet.
Aren't we in love, Christian? We had one. This is it.
Yep, exactly. And then she like looks at his chest, and being the blushing bride that he is, he like covers his chest.
He was like, "Hey, whoa.
Don't look at me."
She does try to just like her hand goes towards his chest to touch him and touches fucking like chest hair, and he's like, whoa.
We're not there yet, Hannah.
Hey, ma'am. Excuse me.
That is another base that we are not there yet.
No.
And then the last sentence of this fucking chapter, is Christian Grey has a sad side. So gross.
Our little emo boy.
Yep, our blushing emo bride.
Our rich baby boy.
Our manipulative, gross, blushing baby bride, Christian Grey.
Yeah.
Our sentient, sad, emo, sex robot, Christian Grey.
I hope because of this we will have the longest podcast title in the history of the podcast title.
Great, I love it. So, anyways, next week, chapters 9 and 10, which means that we're so close to being halfway through this book, which is wild.
Yeah, baby.
So, that's great. So, shout out to our patrons. We got some fantastic $10 patrons.
Ow!
Very good. This week, Shannon Clearwater is sweet citrus smell of the Red Room.
Jessica Stanley is the sad, sad keys on that piano.
Oh, no. Okay. Katie Weber is the lightly chilled green grapes from the charcuterie plate. So thank you to all of you.
So
You're great. All right. It is now time for Taylor Brown Browntown Fanfic Town, also known as Taylor Brown Flavor Town.
Yeah. That's the one.
Yeah, that's the one. Back on our bullshit. This week, fantastic fanfiction is titled 50 Shades of Dr. Sheldon Cooper. So, yikes. It's written by Andrew Mann. This was published on February 17th of 2015. The description is, Anna Steele has an interview with Nobel Prize-winning physicist Dr. Sheldon Cooper. She falls heavily for him. Little does she know that the enigmatic Dr. Cooper is a man with peculiar tastes and a traumatic past. So, yikes. The image that is on here is, it's split in half. It's half Dakota Johnson and half the fucking Sheldon Cooper guy that I don't know his name.
Oh, no. I hate that.
Okay, so here we go. There's only one chapter, so it's just a fucking one shot here. Actually, and he's so young, I start to feel lightheaded. I'm not Miss Kavanaugh. Then you must have the wrong office, says Dr. Sheldon Cooper. I was expecting a meeting with a Miss Kavanaugh. Ms. Kavanaugh is indisposed, I say, straightening my skirt as I stand up. She has sent me as her replacement. I hope you don't mind, Dr. Cooper. Dr. Cooper cocks his head. His right eye begins to twitch. The right side of his lip quivers. I find myself completely frozen in his stare, as if I were under the gaze of a gorgon with the body of an Adonis. He's so hot. Oh, all right, says Dr. Cooper in a nonchalant tone. He pivots and makes his way towards his desk. He sits on a black leather executive chair and turns toward me. And you are? His voice sounds slightly amused, even warm. I'm Anastasia Steele, says Dr. Cooper. That's a funny name, says Dr. Cooper. Whose bright idea was it to name you that? My mother? Oh, quadruple crap. I'm totally going to die. Oh, all right, Dr. Cooper waves me to a burgundy leather couch. Have a seat. I make my way around the left side of the couch and sit down. That's my spot. I leap to my feet, my heart exploding from my chest. Dr. Cooper is staring at me with his steely, impassive eyes. He is determined but calm and smoking hot. What? I managed to say. Don't sit there, says Dr. Cooper. That's where I sit. But you're not sitting here right now. You're sitting on that chair. I regret my indiscretion immediately. It doesn't matter. That's my spot. I flush. Is he teasing me? I hope so. What difference does it make? That spot is close enough to the window to get a good view of the Pasadena horizon, while far enough to avoid catching a drift in the winter. It is situated directly across from the door, granting me the fastest access to the facilities, while close enough to my desk to give me a sense of comfort. From this vantage point, I get a full view of my amiibo figures placed here, here, and here, while also giving me a direct line to the printer, thus allowing me to have fun while also being productive. I could go on, but the most important point is this. This is my office, so I have placed this spot in a state of eternal dibs. End scene.
I can't believe you made me listen to that.
I get a full view of my amiibo figures.
You made me listen to something in which Sheldon Cooper was seen as hot. I had to listen, I had to hear that.
To be fair, Taylor Brown did that.
You didn't have to pick this one. You could have said skip on this one. You did this. You were complicit in this choice. God. It's in fucking Seattle.
Get bit.
Get whipped. This is an Earbud Media production. You can find us on Twitter at Earbud Media and listen to the rest of our shows. You can find this show on Twitter at Into the Twilight, as well as intothetwilight.show. You can send us an email at intothetwilightshow@gmail.com. You can also become a sponsor of the show or buy some merch at intothetwilight.bigcartel.com. Our art is done by Maddie Padilla, who you can find at YourGhostHost44 on Instagram, and our music is done by Eli Krause, you can find at Eli Sauerkraus and KrausFilms.com. The intro and outro is by KB Smith, who you can find at KB__Smith on Twitter. You can find Allie on Twitter at Into Wild Places, and you can find me at Dyke Discourse.